Upfront and Outspoken with Bob Williams. If you love the Constitution,
man is not free unless government is limited.
if you love freedom,
As government expands, liberty contracts.
if you believe in personal responsibility, if you believe America is still the greatest nation on earth, then get ready for an experience you'll never forget. This is Upfront and Outspoken. Here's your host, Bob Williams.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
And welcome back. This is Upfront Outspoken. Of course, I'm your host, Bob Williams, with you here on this Monday. You know, we have a tendency around here, at least I do. I have a tendency around here to always rant and rave about the perils that we go through. And I mean, you know, from our politicians, you know, I'm not very likable to them. But today and throughout much of the week, you're going to be hearing me talking about something that was brought to my attention, thanks to my interns, yesterday. And two people that have become very much involved in a fundraising campaign. Now, you know, I promised you I was going to tell you who these people were. I was going to tell you right now what we're going to be dealing with here, what we're going to be addressing. So I want you to sit back and I want you to really listen to what I'm about to say. My friend Jimmy Parker and another individual, James Napier, brought it to my attention. I got to thank these guys very much for this. It's a disease, or an illness, I should say. It's not really classified as a disease, but it is classified more as an illness. It is called Transverse Myelitis. Now, you probably never heard of this. That's because, guess what? About 33,000 Americans suffer from some sort of disability because of this illness. And it came to my attention that a 14-year-old, very, very talented young lady in Nashville, Tennessee, suffers from this. And what can I tell you, folks? This is something that we all got to get behind. They need money. I'm not going to tell you they don't, because they do. Jessica, who is the young lady who suffers from this illness, is currently in a hospital in Nashville, the Children's Hospital in Nashville. Her dad is by her side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So basically, because of this, he has to take off work. And that means this is where we, you, me, everybody else can get involved, because this is something that needs to be addressed. But I'm going to first get into the fact that you know, once again, I want to thank James and I want to thank Jimmy for bringing it to our attention, and we promise to do everything we can in this end. So this is why we're going to be devoting segments throughout the week to address this, to keep you posted about it, because on Thursday you're going to want to listen in. Thursday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here on the Starcom Radio Network on my program. Jeff Schonberg, the father, and Jimmy Parker will be joining me via Skype. And we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be bringing you all the updates that we have available to you as far as Jessica's health, her treatments, and all this. Now, Jessica has a very long road to hoe. I'm not going to say she doesn't. You know, and you're going to want to listen, because transverse myelitis is a neurological disorder caused by the inflammation across both sides of one level or segment of the spinal cord. That's right. So how does this affected Jessica? She's paralyzed from the waist down. She went into a hospital several days, you know, I'm going to say quite some time ago. I'm not going to say exactly how long, because I really don't have the specifics on that. But that particular hospital, you know, she had been experiencing tingling in her feet. Well, that hospital sent her home. Several days later, she ended up in the Children's Hospital, where after hours of undergoing medical tests, she was finally diagnosed correctly. Now you're asking me, all right, how come it wasn't noticed in the first place? Well, this particular illness, like I said, only affects about 33,000 Americans. So that tells you how small of a body of people that are actually affected by this. It's very tiny. It's very tiny. But once it affects a person, there are severe consequences if it is not diagnosed properly and it is not treated properly. Why? I have to ask myself, why do we not divert more money, more money towards medical research so that illnesses such as this can be seen by any doctor anywhere? But it seems it's not. Now, this particular illness, Transverse Myelitis, or transverse, I'll get it right, Transverse Myelitis, has, I'm looking over some of the stuff that this thing does, and I am amazed that we are not taking more funds and putting it into illnesses like this. I'm just aghast at the fact that very little research is being done to treat this, ailments like this, that physicians, can't diagnose it properly because it is a very oftentimes underdiagnosed situation. And what happens is usually patients who come into a medical facility with symptoms such as Jessica are merely sent home with a little antibiotics, and that's it. And then later they develop this tragic illness. Now, Jessica needs your help, and I'm urging everyone out there to help her out. Her family needs it, because guess what? It's going to be a long road to her full recovery. Her dad is not working. He is spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at her side. I've seen the videos. Jimmy Parker was very gracious, and he went there by her hospital bed and gave a private concert to this young lady. Boy, I'll tell you what, when I saw that video, it brightened her face up. I mean, you could just see just how bright it brought her. And then I find out on top of this, this young lady, this 14-year-old girl, man, can she strum a guitar. She's very talented. And even on her fundraising campaign page, I've been reading this, and I am heartbroken by this, what has happened to this. And these are quotes right from her father, and I want you to make this very clear. Here's what he said. He said, okay, scroll back here. He said right out, pardon me, Jessica has been a healthy, athletic 14-year-old girl, and then overnight she woke up paralyzed. She recently joined the tennis team at her school. We've been told it could be weeks before she regains any movement in her legs and months before she can walk. There's also the chance she may never walk again normally, if at all. And that's not an understatement, folks. He did not understate that. So I want you to bear this in mind. He did not understate that comment. And then he goes on and talks about his daughter. I've seen the videos myself, and I must tell you, this is a very heart-wrenching story. A disease, an illness that goes underdiagnosed correctly, and it needs to be addressed. So this is, like I said, this week, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be talking about this, and I want to get your attention. I want you to wake up. I want you to do whatever it takes. Get to the phone or go right straight to her GoFundMe site, and that's GoFundMe.com/K as in kilo, H as in hotel, the number 8, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, K as in kilo. Now, all the letters are small letters. Go there. If you do not make a donation, I'm going to call out every single one of you who don't. And bear in mind, I'll know who you are. You need to help this young lady. 14 years old, very talented, facing months, if not years, of recovery if she ever walks again. We're praying, and I want you to pray for her that she does walk, that she does come back to some normality, even though from everything I have read, she's going to have problems. Now, this disease, this illness, seems to have a very specific, what can I say, demographics as to who is affected by this. And it is. And unfortunately, Jessica is in that group. All right, now you're asking me, okay, Bob, what's the demographics? All right, between 10 and 19 and 30 and 39. That's right, you heard it, 10 and 19 and 30 to 39. 33,000 Americans are afflicted with some form of this illness. 33,000 per year. That's not many. That's infinitesimal compared to what we hear about when it comes to cancer, when it comes to other diseases like muscular dystrophy and all that. This is a very infinitesimal group. So this is why major corporations are not finding a cure, not finding a way to diagnose this illness early, because it's not in their interests. It's a tragedy. It is heart-wrenching, especially when it comes to young ladies like Jessica. Like I said, I've seen the videos. Channel 5 and Channel News right there in Nashville carried stories about her. But it can't end there. It can't end there. And once again, I got to thank Jimmy Parker and James Napier for bringing this to my attention, because I would not have known about it. You would not be hearing about it. So these two guys I have to thank for getting us involved in our small way, our small, humble way right here at Upfront Outspoken. We are going to do whatever we can to make you aware, to get your blood flowing, get you angry at the powers that be for not divesting the necessary money into research. And it's not necessarily just this particular illness, but I do want you to focus on this one this week. And like I said, we're going to be bringing people on, throughout the week. And we're going to be talking about this. Because on Thursday, I am going to be bringing not only the man that I initially saw it on, but I'm also going to bring this young lady's father on. And we're going to be, once again, hammering it home to you. They need the money. She's got to go all the way to Atlanta, from my understanding, all the way to Atlanta to a rehab center. Mind you, they live in Nashville. Her dad, right now, because of the fact he is by his daughter's side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, isn't working. So they need your financial support. They need it. I don't care how much you donate. I really don't. What I do care is that you do make a donation. Now, I understand they have other things in the works as well, but I'm not at liberty, and I will not break a agreement I made with Mr. Napier about what's coming up. But I can tell you, from what we have heard from the news clips from Channel 2, Channel 5, that a benefit is going to be held. Now, I don't want you to focus on that benefit. I want you to focus on the here and now to help this young lady. She needs you, folks. They need you. And you need to get off your ass, get on the phone, yell at your congressman, yell at your senator, yell at whoever you think is necessary to get the funding there. The money's there. We know the money's available. Take it away from the military machine a little bit. Put it into research so illnesses like this no longer affects young, talented people. Not necessarily, they don't have to be just talented, but young people in general. Things like this can be stopped, but it takes research money to do it. It takes you to get off your ass, to make phone calls, to write letters, start petitions, whatever it takes to force the powers that be to open up that pocketbook and say, enough, we can't have this anymore. Children, young adults cannot suffer from illnesses like this. But they need you. They need you. And I am urging, I am imploring every one of my listeners right now, make a donation. Prove to Jessica, prove to her father, prove to the world that we come together in a person's time of need. I'm looking at their fundraising campaign right now. I am. They're asking for $10,000. They're almost halfway there. But it's not going to stop there. It better not stop there once they hit that 10,000 mark. I want to see that go beyond what they are asking for. They're close. They're close to halfway. But they still need you. So I'm encouraging you, please go to gofundme.com/K as in kilo, H as in hotel, the number 8, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, K as in kilo. All the letters are small letters. Bear that in mind. GoFundMe.com/KH8RSK. Go there. Make a donation. Every penny is going to help. Going to help Jessica, going to help her father, going to help them meet her needs. And there are going to be needs that are going to far exceed this $10,000 they're asking. You know, I know that there are. You can also go to any bank, from what I'm told, and I believe, I'm kind of assuming this, although I did get word that there is a potential. You can go to any bank and put in for the Jessica, Schonberg, I'll get it right, Jessica Schonberg Fund. You know, every dime will help them. Come on now, folks. I know you can do it. Oh, I look at this. I look at the face of this young lady, of this young, rising lady. Let's not let her down. You know, so I'm appealing to your common sense, your decency as human beings, your ability to come together when one of our own need help. And when I mean one of our own, I mean one within the human race. It doesn't have to be a musical artist, someone in my profession, somebody in somebody else's profession. But let's help. Let's prove to mankind, let's prove to Nashville and the world, we can come together. We've got to. Because if we don't, what are we saying about ourselves? What are we saying about ourselves if we do not get behind this young lady? If we let her down, then, is that what we want? I don't think so. I don't think any of you really want to let this young woman down. She's very talented. Boy, can she strum a guitar. I heard that on one of the videos. She's very talented. Let's not disappoint her. Let's help her meet all of her dreams today, tomorrow, in the future. But it can't be done without you. Go to her fundraising campaign, gofundme.com/K as in kilo, H as in hotel, the number 8, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, K as in kilo. Again, all the letters are small letters. Make a donation. Let's get Jessica not only back on her feet, but back to a full recovery. And then get on the phone. Write letters. Get petitions. Do whatever it takes. Get involved. Illnesses like this can be overcome, can be diagnosed properly. And from what I read about transverse myelitis, it is oftentimes underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Yet, it can be overcome. But we need you. We need you. Again, show Jessica your support. Go to gofundme.com/KH8RSK. Go to it today, right now, right this minute. Don't wait. They need your help, and without your help, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be upset, and then I am going to be really ranting and raving. They're halfway to their goal, but you know, I know, that's only a start. Recovery could last weeks, months, and yet through all of that, do we want to be held to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, because I didn't help, this girl may never walk again? Do you want that on your conscience?
Upfront and Outspoken with...
Come on, guys. All right, they finally got it right. With that, it is time for me to get out of here. Stay tuned, because coming up here at the bottom of the hour, Ed Till will be joining you all the way until 4 o'clock. Until tomorrow, 6 a.m., this is Bob Williams. Take care of yourselves.